Good evening, and welcome to the Universal Joy Center. So tonight, as we gather, let us just take a moment. Take a moment to take a breath, and no matter where you're joining from, you've probably had a busy, long day. I'm grateful you've chosen to spend this time here. So take a deep breath in, and one more. Just allow your shoulders to soften. There's nowhere else you need to be for the next little bit. Nothing to prove, nothing to fix, just this moment. So tonight we're exploring one of the most misunderstood spiritual ideas. Joy isn't something that happened to us. Joy is something we choose. Not because life is always easy, not because difficult things disappear, but because our deepest nature is joy itself. So let us join together in consciousness. There is one infinite presence, one life expressing itself as each one of us. And tonight we open ourselves to remembering who we truly are. And I'm hoping that these words awaken something that has never been broken, never been diminished, never been lost. And may we leave tonight lighter than we arrived. The power and presence of the one, infinite and eternal, everywhere present, all-powerful, all-knowing, and fully active in each of our lives. So we join together tonight to recognize and to remember that joy is a natural part of our being. Always has been, always will be, and is always present. So I discover it, I turn to it, and I awaken to this greater sense of joy as my natural beingness. And so I choose to express it day by day. In love and appreciation, with gratitude, I release these ideas into the law of mind. It is done, all is well. And together we say, and so it is. Well, let us begin with our land acknowledgement. So we're honored to be meeting on this land that many First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people from across Turtle Island call home. We acknowledge and thank the original caretakers and knowledge keepers of this territory. And we also give thanks to all other Indigenous peoples, recorded and unrecorded, who have shared in that responsibility. Recognizing our ultimate oneness and acknowledging our reality, past and present, we commit to moving forward in a spirit of mutual cooperation. We are one. So here we are. So a woman was walking through the park after a difficult week. Everything had gone wrong. Her car needed repairs. Her boss had criticized her. Her family was arguing. She noticed an elderly man sitting on a bench feeding birds. He was smiling. Not a polite smile, a genuine smile. And she asked, "How can you look so happy when the world feels like this?" And he laughed. "My dear, the birds didn't ask if I had a good week before they started singing." What beautiful wisdom. Nature never waits for perfect circumstances before expressing itself. Flowers bloom beside the highways, birds sing before sunrise, the ocean keeps dancing, trees continue growing after storms, and only humans decide that life must become perfect before they allow themselves joy. Ta-da! Anybody ever thought that? Anybody ever acted that way? Yeah, I think maybe most of us have. So Most people believe that joy kind of works something like this. A good thing happens, and then I feel joyful. Yeah? But spirituality gently turns that equation upside down. Joy becomes the cause, not the effect. Joy becomes the cause, not the effect. Science of Mind teaches that consciousness creates experience. The outer world reflects, you heard that, right? Reflects the inner world. And that doesn't mean difficult things never happen. It means our state of consciousness determines how we experience what happens. Joy isn't denial. Joy is spiritual power. So most of us, many of us, we keep waiting. We tell ourselves, I'll be joyful when I lose the weight, when I find the relationship, when I retire, the diagnosis changes, the children finally call, the government improves, the economy settles down, everything works out. Phew, that's a lot. Right? But if joy depends upon conditions, then we have surrendered our freedom because conditions are always changing. Right? It's one thing we can count on. Change. Change is constantly happening. So I heard someone once say that some people wait for the perfect song before they dance. Others dance. And somehow every song becomes perfect. And isn't that life? Some people spend years waiting for certainty, waiting for permission, waiting until they feel confident, waiting until they are younger or older or richer or healthier. Meanwhile, another person begins dancing. Not because life is perfect. I remember a friend of mine who had traveled years ago. She was a nurse, and she traveled years ago to a Rwandan refugee camp. At the time, there were 300,000 people in this camp. And she went there, to help out how she could. She was there for a month. And what happened to her while she was there was quite remarkable because she said she would take these little babies that were dying, and she would tie them to her body, use a sheet or something to create like a sling. And she would hold these babies close to her heart while she did her work so that they would know warmth and love before they passed away. And she said that one of the things that astounded her the most was that the women in these camps, when nighttime came, they danced. They danced. Now, they were living in the ultimate hell, really. Probably their families had been ripped apart. They wouldn't know where they probably didn't even know where their children were. Their partners probably were murdered. So how does that happen? See, life is happening. Whether we like it or not, it's happening. And joy isn't the reward. Joy becomes the music. It's that awakening to something bigger. Ernest Holmes wrote, "Life mirrors our thought." And if we continually think there isn't enough, life reflects limitation. If we continually believe nothing works out, life seems to confirm it. If we consciously cultivate gratitude, hope, curiosity, joy, our experiences begin changing. Not because the universe suddenly decided to like us or become kinder, but because our consciousness became more available to receive. Yeah, joy changes our vibration. and our vibration changes what we notice. Have you ever noticed if you go out and buy a new car? Let's say you buy a new car and it's green. And you're driving along, and all of a sudden you start seeing these green cars like yours just about everywhere you look. It's like, how come I never noticed any of these before? It's like when we recognize something, when we know something, we start to see it everywhere. So if we know we're a loser, we get to be right. The universe responds and says yes to that. Not because it wants to be mean, but because we have free will. We get to choose what we think. We get to choose where we're going. We get to choose what this life experience really is. And when you take a look at, the choices that we make, now there's been seasons in my own life when joy felt impossible. Times of loss. I had a brother take his life when he was just 37. My parents are gone. I live in a city where all of my family lives elsewhere. Now, that could be a good thing sometimes, but it's amazing how even through times of loss or financial uncertainty or relationships ending, moments when I questioned everything, I discovered something surprising. Joy wasn't absent. My attention was. Joy had quickly been waiting beneath the noise, and sometimes it appeared as one deep breath, sometimes in laughter with a friend, sometimes in a sunrise or sunset, and sometimes in the silence of treatment. Joy didn't arrive. I just noticed it. I remember at my father's memorial service that there was a video that I had made of lots of different photographs throughout his life and our life as a family. And during part of that, there was some Halloween costumes that my dad wore that were, pretty funny because he was a funny guy sometimes. And what was interesting was in the memorial service, a lot of time people were crying and seemed kind of morose. And yet, when that picture showed up on the screen, or pictures of us when we were little kids, the room erupted in laughter. See, joy didn't go anywhere. It was momentarily excused from the room, shall we say. We were so busy, and sometimes we do this, we're so busy focusing on a problem, or we're so busy focusing on how things are not working out for us that we've forgotten to look at what is. We've forgotten to take the time to see what's actually in front of us. So I'd like to ask you to do something. And I'd really like everyone participating. So take a slow breath. And I want you to think about the last 24 hours. Not the difficult parts, the beautiful parts. Perhaps someone smiled, or your coffee tasted really good, or your dog greeted you. Well, they always do that, right? A child laughed, music moved you, you accomplished something, you noticed flowers, you rested, you survived something difficult. Now ask yourself, what almost escaped your attention? What almost escaped your attention? If you're living here in Toronto or the area, did you look outside this morning and see that yellow haze and know that you were stuck indoors for the rest of the day, and maybe that ruined everything else? But what if you realized now, as you think back over the last 24 hours, that Yeah, you stayed inside, but you got a project completed that you hadn't thought you'd have time to finish, or maybe you were reading a good book, or maybe you got to work from home today instead of having to go to the office. Notice the things that may have escaped your attention. You see, joy is often quiet. It whispers, it doesn't shout. So here's another example. So two hospital patients share the same room. One lays beside the window. Each afternoon, he describes what he saw: children playing, dogs chasing balls, couples walking, beautiful gardens. The other patient longed to see the view. When the first man died, the second asked to be moved beside the window. He looked outside. The window faced a brick wall. The nurses later explained the first man had been blind. He wasn't describing what he saw. He was describing the world he chose to live in. He described the world he chose to live in. Now that's consciousness. See, joy isn't pretending. Joy isn't toxic positivity. Joy isn't saying everything is wonderful. Joy says this moment matters. This moment matters. This breath matters. There's still beauty. There's still possibility. There's still life expressing itself. The choice changes everything. That man was seeing a beautiful life. What are the things that we see day by day? What are some of the things we see that we think are bad, awful, terrible? What are the things we judge or criticize about ourselves? Food for thought, right? So every morning I want you to try something. I want you to ask yourself a question. Okay? What would joy do today? What would joy do today? Yes. What would joy do today? So imagine you're crawling out of bed tomorrow morning, and instead of going, where's my coffee? Oh no, I gotta go to work. What if instead you said to yourself, what would joy do today? Or what would love do today? Or how would love look today? Or how would life look today if I saw joy everywhere I looked? What would life look like today if I decided everything was beautiful and lovely and wonderful? What might my day look like, do you think? What would joy do today? Give it a try. What would joy choose? Maybe calling a friend, or taking a walk, or forgiveness, or laugh, or rest, or create, or dance, or pray, or treat, or sing badly, or smile at strangers. I can sing badly. I love doing that in the car, nice and loud. Smile at strangers. Celebrate someone else's success. Tell a stranger you love them. That's my thing, but you can borrow it. See, joy doesn't require permission. Neither does love. Neither does love. So I want you to just take a moment and become still. And close your eyes if it feels comfortable. Take another slow breath. And just feel yourself becoming totally present. And I want you to imagine that you're standing in a beautiful meadow just before sunrise. And the world is quiet. The air is fresh. And in the distance, the first rays of light begin to appear. The sun has always been there. It simply waited for the clouds to move. Now imagine that this light is joy itself. Just feel that inside of you. Feel it beginning to bubble up. Joy. Not excitement, not happiness dependent upon events. A quiet, radiant joy that has always lived within you. And see that light moving toward you. And it surrounds your body, fills your heart, and every cell begins remembering its original nature. Every cell working perfectly, harmoniously. Now silently repeat. Joy is my nature. Joy is my nature. Joy is my strength. Joy is my strength. Joy is available now. I'm not waiting for permission. I choose joy. I choose joy. Tell yourself, I choose joy. I choose love. I choose joy. Now imagine yourself waking up tomorrow, walking into your day, carrying this light, this joy. Wherever you go, joy goes. Whoever you meet receives your light. Everyone you meet, touched by joy, living in the light. Take a deep breath in. And one more time. And as you exhale, opening your eyes and gently return. A little girl was drawing with crayons, and her teacher asked, "What are you drawing?" And she replied, "I'm drawing joy." The teacher smiled, but no one knows what joy looks like. Without looking up, she answered, "They will when I'm finished." I love that. The simplicity of children. Why do we complicate things? So people may not remember every word that we say. They may forget every accomplishment, but they'll remember how they felt in our presence. They will remember how they felt in our presence. So let's become people who make joy visible, not because life is perfect, but because love is always present. So repeat after me. Out loud, like out loud. I mean, you're muted, so it's just you that's going to hear this, or whoever's in your house with you. But repeat this. Repeat after me. Today I choose joy. Today I choose joy. Not because everything is perfect, but because Spirit lives within me. Because Spirit lives within me. I choose hope. I choose gratitude. I choose possibility. I choose love. I choose joy, and joy chooses me. Carry that in your heart. Carry it in your mind. And be the joy, the love, and the peace that we're seeking.
Good evening, everyone. One of the beautiful things about the Universal Joy Center is that everything we offer is made possible through the generosity of people who believe in this community and in the transformative power of these teachings. Here, we don't give out of obligation or guilt. We give as a spiritual practice. Giving is one of the ways we say yes to the life we want to create within ourselves and in the world around us. The title of today's message is Choosing Joy on Purpose. One of the wonderful paradoxes of life is that generosity often awakens you. It awakens joy. When we give with an open heart, whether it is our time, our talents, our compassion, or our financial support, we participate in the natural flow of abundance. We affirm that there is enough, that we are enough, and that together we are creating something meaningful. Your gifts help us continue offering weekly joy gatherings, classes and workshops that inspire transformation, pastoral care and spiritual support, community outreach and compassionate service, and inclusivity, where everyone is welcome just as they are. Every contribution, regardless of its size, makes a difference. If the Universal Joy Center has supported you, inspired you, or helped you, remember your own light. This is an opportunity to help that light reach someone else. And for those who feel called, our Joy Partnership monthly donor program offers an easy way to make a set recurring gift, providing stability and helping our community continue to thrive. So please join me in affirming by repeating after me. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I give and all that I receive. This offering supports healing, awakening, compassion, and joy. It blesses this community, those we serve, and every generous heart that gives. As I give freely, I receive abundantly. And together we create a world transformed by love. And so it is. Thank you for your generosity, your presence, and for helping. Universal Joy Center continue to be a place where ancient wisdom meets joy now. Your partnership truly makes this ministry possible. And the ways you can give is you can do an e-transfer to admin@ujoyc.ca, or you can click on donate on our website at ujoyc.ca. You can also mail a check to the Universal Joy Center, and you will find the address in the chat or also on our website at ujoyc.ca. There are many opportunities to connect with us. We invite you to join us each week this month as we journey together into the heart of the powerful and inspiring topic, joy as a spiritual practice. There's a fundraising concert July 19th at 3 p.m. until 7 p.m., and that is this Sunday. It is at Barbara Jean's house, and we will be passing the hat for donations at the event for anyone in attendance to share. The money will be split between the performers and the center. If you're not already getting the newsletter entailing our exciting up-and-coming events, courses, and programs, please go to our website and sign up for it. And please note that as we continue to grow and evolve, our website is also undergoing a transformation. Parts of it are under construction, and we appreciate your patience as we create an even better online experience for our community. And for those who are watching on Facebook or YouTube, thank you for joining us this evening. And please like, share, and subscribe. Also, you can join us in the Zoom room by clicking on the link in the chat. Join the conversation, ask questions, and discover what makes this philosophy so life-changing. Everyone is welcome. And now Barbara will give us a closing treatment.
Thank you, Kathy. So let us join together in consciousness. It is with a heart filled with gratitude that I come to the end of this service today, knowing that gifts and blessings have been received and shared, that something incredible has been awakened, and that the beauty of this day, the laughter of this moment, the excitement of what is to come is fully realized. And so my heart is open, my mind is clear, and I'm filled with that divine expression of joy, love, and peace. I allow it to radiate from my heart center, from everything I say and do, and for it to go out into the world, touching lives wherever it goes. As I show up as a joy-filled, loving, dynamic individual, the world responds in kind. And for all of this, I'm deeply and profoundly grateful. So filled with love and peace, joy and delight, grateful for each person here and all that you do and all that you are, I take these ideas and I release them into the law of mind. It is done. I let it be so. And together we say, and so it is. And now let us